Hi, welcome back to my channel. Everybody knows I'm the CEO of YouTube. We know this. Susan left. I was the one to step up and take her place. And everybody also knows that I'm one of the most massive creators on the platform now. I didn't even use my CEO status to get me there. I'm so good at making videos. Everybody loves all of them all the time. As the CEO of YouTube, I got a lot on my plate. But the thing that I feel the most responsibility to is my fans. That's all of you. Hi. So when I make a big money move like this, when I'm offered these multi-billion-dollar contracts, I make sure that it's with the right people. So legally, I have to say this video is a hashtag ad because I am now partnered. Is that the terminology we that I am officially a Choices partner with Pixelberry Studios. Thank you. Is this a dumb bit? Yes. Yeah, this is not a joke. I'm really partnered with Pixelberry now. I'm excited to work with them. They're excited to work with me. It should be a good time, and it means that let's just say I got the gems. All right. In Pete Davidson news, it's been sort of a wild last couple of weeks for him. His new show Bubkiss just started airing on Peacock, and it seems to be pretty well received. His episode of SNL was canceled due to the writer's strike, where if you go, you get a free shirt. So show some solidarity. Yeah, and his dog died, so that's it's a real downer one to end up on. Never fun to lose a dog, especially at 2 years old though. The dog was 2, not Pete. He's a little older than 2 at this point. The dude seems to be doing all right. If there's one thing that Pete Davidson can do, it's roll with the punches. I think if you look back at his career, there's never a point where you're like, that one really took the wind out of his sails or anything like that. There's never anything that seems to stick to him. And this is purely based off of my perception of him. I've never met him. I don't go to Staten Island very often, and that's where he lives. He seems to just kind of want to do his own work, and he knows that there are a lot of eyes on him, but he tries not to let it get to his head too much. And honestly, that's why he's the love interest, because I know that in some cosmic way, Pete Davidson stumbled across this silly series on YouTube. I think he'd just be like, oh, all right. And that's about it. And there's nothing more I could ask for there. Shall we play some choices instead of just talking about it? It's been a long time. So if you don't remember everything, let me take you back and tell you the tale of Dumbass Peckerwood and Prince Pete Davidson. Insert the recap now. Oh, wait. You can't see me. One day, it was the bachelor party of a man named Pete Davidson. He's not the protagonist. He's the love interest. And who was waitressing at that bachelor party? Oh, but Dumbass Peckerwood, just an average girl from New York. But then Pete Davidson was like, oh, hey, you're so cool. We should go hang out later. So then Pete and his bachelor boys and Dumbass all left and went to a club. So everybody went to the club. Look at all of us. We're all at the club. And then while we were at the club, Pete pulled Dumbass to the side and was like, hey, I think you're real cute. We should go do something that I never have been able to do, and that's see the Statue of Liberty. So the two of them ditched these other fools. So the two of them went to the Statue of Liberty, and they did a kiss at the Statue of Liberty, the most romantic place in all of New York City. But after that, it was time to go, and they went their separate ways. Until the next day, when Maxwell came up to Dumbass and was like, hello, would you like to try and marry that man who you spent one day with? And Dumbass said, of course, I'd love to. And so the two of them flew off to the magical kingdom of Cordonia. But there's not just me and the Bachelor Boys running around this kingdom. There's a ton of other people, like my friend Hannah. She was trying to marry the prince because she's got like some sort of duchy in her family, but not anymore. Bertrand, he's the Duke of Ramsford. He's pissed all the time, and he's Maxwell's brother. We got King Constantine, who's the king presently, but he's about to step down because he's old and doesn't want to do it anymore. Madeline, she's been like trained since birth to be the queen, but I don't think she's going to get it. We got Olivia, also trained since birth to be the queen, but she's for sure not going to get it because she's mean and no one really likes her. And we got Kiara, who's French.
She's French. We've also been to a ton of crazy foreign locales you're not going to find here in the United States, like a hedge maze, where I tripped and fell into Pete Davidson's arms comically. We went to a bakery where I introduced the gang to the concept of cronuts, because these Europeans, they don't know what a cronut is. We went to a royal regatta where the crew didn't show up, so I had to be the one man in the ship, and we went to an orchard.
I make the same joke every time, where I'm like, you're jumping in now? It's fine. The Royal Romance. We're starting on chapter 15, right? These are called chapters. I need to use the official company lingo now. Chapter 15, The Brothers Beaumont. Having departed from Applewood Manor, you, Maxwell, and Bertrand ride in a limo toward the Beaumont estate. I, for one, thought Dumbass's performance at the Applewood events was spectacular. She did fine. Thanks. Hey, did I miss anything at the country jamboree while I was with Pete Davidson? There was a lot going on. Not really. It was par for the course. Lots of gossiping, lots of mingling. Someone got hit with a racket during the badminton tournament. The usual. Oh, the real big news was that a reporter managed to sneak onto estate grounds. You hardly ever get someone who can do that. Yes, but she was quickly caught and ejected. She should have known better than to come to a private event, honestly. Now, enough reminiscing. I cannot stress enough the importance of our upcoming feat.
Fit.
The Beaumont Bash is the final event before the coronation, and expectations couldn't be higher, which means we have to throw the best party. The very reputation of House Beaumont is on the line. And remember, just like Olivia had the advantage when she hosted the royal court, now we'll have the upper hand. Are you prepared, dumbass? Honestly, I won't let us down. I suppose that cliche assertion is the only thing I can rely on. Come on. I'm the hero of the story. Suddenly, Maxwell slides across the limo seat to look out the window. Hey, we're home. Gazing out, you see rolling vineyards all the way up to the edge of the large manor. The limo glides to a stop, and you hop out. Wow, this is some fine real estate. I feel like we're in Napa. It's beautiful in all its splendor. Wow. Look at all that splendor. Maxwell plops down onto the couch. Ah, the cushion still remembers my shape. It's cozy, but it also feels empty for a noble's estate. Shouldn't there be, people? To cut costs, the house staff isn't scheduled until tomorrow. But the caterers and cleaning crew from the event planning company should have been here by now. It's a big place. You gotta shout to reach them. Hello? We're home. You hear no response. Maybe they're all pranking us. The company I hired has one of the highest reputations for professionalism and service to the nobility. So no, they are not prank. Okay, Bertrand, Jesus Christ. I know, that stick is up Bertrand's ass. I know this. But he knows that I don't have that. So I think he'd be able to know when I'm telling a joke, but I guess not. It was just a thought. Something isn't right. Bertrand looks around the house. He finds a note above the fireplace. Opening it, he reads it. What? They backed out of the event. Uh-oh. Huh? Why would they do that? It appears there was a paperwork issue. A logistical hiccup, it seems. And rather than wait for our arrival, they canceled. This is gonna be a disaster. There's gotta be something we can do. This isn't the first time the crew we hired hasn't shown up. Don't remind me, because the regatta, remember, we did the recap. I'm just saying, we can pull through if we work together. I suppose you're right. There's no alternative except to cover for this mess before the entire royal court arrives tomorrow. Maxwell, call in every last favor you can. We need extra hands to clean the estate. I'll see what I can do about getting the flowers and furnishings for the ballroom. Right. We got to work this. Lady Dumbass? Yes? The kitchen should be fully stocked. We're going to be feeding a lot of mouths tomorrow, so anything you can prepare in advance will be valuable. Maxwell will help you when he can. Team, break. We're literally going to the kitchen. We gotta... Dun-dun-dun-dun. Down in the kitchen, you check the pantries to take stock of what you can cook with. Caviar, squid ink, truffles. Where's the normal food? Maxwell saunters into the room. Calls have been made, so now I can concentrate on food. Any culinary ideas? All this stuff looks fancy, and I have no idea what to do with any of it. The fancier the stuff, the less you have to do. Just dump it on a plate and call it deconstructed. Oh my gosh, that's a terrible idea. All we have to do is sell it to them. Restaurants do it all the time. I'll grab the caviar and some other stuff to go with it. You get some fancy serving spoons. All right. As you search the kitchen, you call over your shoulder. I'm sorry the helpers bailed. I'm doing kitchen stuff. I'm sorry the helpers bailed. I can't believe this happened again. Yeah, me neither. Bertrand told me he had everything covered and not to ask any questions. But I'm sure this is somehow my fault. Come on, Maxwell. You shouldn't take the blame for everything. Bertrand is at least as much to blame, if not more so than you. Yeah, the person who failed to organize things. and then things went wrong, I'd say it's his fault more than yours, Maxwell. But what do I know? He knows that. He's even harder on himself. Oh, that's not an excuse for him to berate you. Stand up to him. It's not that simple. Look, I appreciate your concern over my relationship with Bertrand, but it's nothing I can't handle. You sure? I'm here if you ever need to talk. Thanks, but we should focus on these appetizers. We've got a party to prepare. We gotta work. Maxwell sets out the plates and the ingredients. Here, put a little caviar on the spoon and then a sprig of garnish and finish with a dash of paprika. Does paprika go well with caviar? Boy, do I not know. It'll be a novelty. Oh, sure. Then here's to culinary experimentation. You and Maxwell work for a few seconds in silence, assembling the appetizers. Hey, by the way, where are these friends you called? Oh, you know, all of them said they were busy or they couldn't make it or that something came up. I couldn't even get a hold of Tariq. Not that he'd even know which end of a broom to hold. But don't worry, we can do it together. Probably. Maxwell, we gotta work this out. Teamwork makes the dream work. Oh, that could be our new house motto. What's your house motto right now? I think something about vendettas and giant squid. Squid? We used to be seafaring people. Just then you hear the door to the kitchen open. Hello? Anyone in here? Oh my god. This is where in the sitcom, he opens the door, audience goes crazy. Drake! Oh god, it's gonna be, this is the first time seeing Drake since what happened last time. I wonder, is it gonna be awkward? I don't know. Drake! You came! Yeah, calm down, it's not that big of a deal. Yes, it is. We are friends. You promised me whiskey. And the audience laughs. Friendship whiskey. Drake, you made it. Yeah, behold your knight in shining armor. Alright, I'm here now. What else needs to be done? Dumbass and I are plating some fancy appetizers. Come join us. Drake takes up a spot next to Maxwell and starts assembling. Pretty soon, you have rows of paprika and caviar tasting spoons. Oh, these are shaping up. I think we need a good name for these though. Maybe Jewels of the Sea? Why not the charade of the season? As this is not a charade, this is real. I like Jewels of the Sea. Can we just stick with that one? Why not the Bud of Paradise? Ugh, I feel pretentious just hearing that name. That means it's perfect. I can already picture them complimenting the delicious Bud of Paradise. As you use up the last of the caviar, Maxwell stores the appetizers in one of the huge fridges. There, that should be enough to get us started. Now then, on to the main course. Do you even know how to cook from scratch? Maxwell's phone vibrates. Oh, thank heavens. Bertrand found another company to handle the main courses. Let me tell you, nobody would have wanted the science experiments I was about to produce. What's next on the we're in panic mode list? I should stay here and clean the kitchen, but Bertrand might need help in the main hall. Last I saw of him, he was looking for cleaning supplies. I'll stay here and help Maxwell. We'll come find you once we're finished down here. Alright. Not really spending too much time with Drake. Honestly, kind of relieved about it. You enter the main hall. At the base of the stairs, Bertrand obsessively scrubs the tiles on his hands and knees. Oh, and he looks fucking miserable about it. Bertrand? What? I was sent here to help you, so if you need anything, let me know. It's fine. I have it under control. Alright, I'll leave you to it then. Yes, that would be for the best. Perhaps Maxwell needs help cleaning, or repairing whatever damage he may have caused. Just then, Maxwell emerges from the kitchen. Phew, that was quite the ordeal. I hope it's at least a year before I ever have to clean another kitchen again. Luckily, with Drake, it went faster than I thought. Speak of the devil. I was hoping that was a reference to my impish charm. It wasn't. Oh my god. Now that you're done with the kitchen, we need to do a thorough dusting. Just be careful with our displays. Lady Dumbass, help him. Oh, so you do need help. Okay, cool. This house needs to be in top condition before guests arrive. You and Maxwell walk around the room, dusting the walls, vases, busts, and paintings. Behind the stairwell, you come across several weapons on the wall. Oh. I thought there was going to be like a gun. No. Touch one. What, do they have names? Do they have fun names? Dagger. Sword. Double sword. Oh. Flail. Axe. I'm going to touch the flail. That's a fun one. You touch the weapon, then draw your hand back. Wow. They're all so pointy. These swords and knives. Great job, dumbass. I see you found our wall of weapons. Why are these here? To defend the castle. These are a selection from our armory. They're very important to our family and Cordonia's history. But the best thing about them is that they act as a variety of exciting bottle openers. That's totally normal. Why settle for a pedestrian bottle opener when you can get a double-bladed sword? You get it. There's nothing more thrilling than lopping the top off a priceless bottle of wine with a medieval weapon. Maxwell's phone vibrates. He checks it. Anyway, Bertrand just said he and Drake are working in the ballroom. We better go see if they need help. So we've established that there are weapons on the premises, in case I need to defend myself. You and Maxwell make your way to the ballroom, where Drake and Bertrand are arranging centerpieces and setting the tables. It's looking great. Thank you. Maxwell, these tables in the back corner are ready for napkins. Can you help? On it. Lady Dumbass, if you could assist Drake? Sure. While Maxwell and Bertrand set the back tables, you find Drake arranging flowers in a vase. Why, Drake, I never knew you had such a flair for peonies. The things I do for you people. As you pick up a vase, Drake steps closer and lowers his voice. Hey. Anything about any of this seem off to you? Drake nods towards the other side of the room. Leaning in, you hear Bertrand and Maxwell arguing in hushed tones. What I don't get is that the money was in our account yesterday. I don't know anything about our finances, Bertrand. You know that. You might not know anything, but you're still causing me problems. You're the only other person with access to that account. This better not be to pay off one of your idiotic credit card purchases. Last month you said you spent $3,000 on a jet ski. What is it this time? I told you, I don't know what you're talking about. You're lucky I don't have time to deal with you right now. Oh, are they getting frauded? That's why they're losing so much money. As Bertrand and Maxwell stalk off to get more napkins, Drake raises an eyebrow at you. Oh wait, he raised one eyebrow. Can I do that? Do I have that ability? I'm not Colbert. This one, I think, just looks like I'm having a stroke. Well, doesn't it seem like something weird is going on? It seemed like there is something suspicious going on in House Beaumont. I'm gonna find out what it is. All right, Drake. Besides, it sounds like Maxwell might be in over his head this time. I think he really needs my help. But knowing him, he'd never ask. I didn't realize you and Maxwell were that close. After all the time I've spent with him in the past weeks, I'm starting to find him less annoying. High praise. Besides, we scrubbed the kitchen cabinets together. I think I'm invested now. Sure. Actually, Drake, there's something else we should talk about last night. Last night? What you said about how you feel? Dumbass, I don't think we should talk about this here. Then somewhere private? I'm not sure that's a good idea. Why not? If we're alone again together, I'm not sure I'll be able to stop myself from saying something stupid. Drake, dumbass. Okay, thank God. I do not need that in my life right now, Drake. I don't know why dumbass was trying to initiate the conversation. I'm glad Drake was like, nah, we don't need to. There's nothing, like we said our piece last night. We're good. Eep. Yes. Why are you two standing about, chatting like ladies and an afternoon tea? You both said you'd help, so help. Right away, Duke Ramsford. Yeah, of course. God, everyone's just pissed off today. As you resume arranging flowers, Drake abruptly abandons his vase and walks away. You watch as Drake quietly opens a door at the end of the hallway and slips inside. I bet he's trying to figure out what's going on with Maxwell and Bertrand. This is your chance to learn a little more about the Beaumont brothers and to spend some time alone with Drake. I don't need to spend time alone with Drake. 15 gems? Oh, I got 859. Oh, yeah. I'll follow Drake. You follow Drake down the hallway and into the room off to the side. Drake, what are you doing back here? Peckerwood. So you followed me, huh? This is the Beaumont study. How'd you even know this was here? I used to come to this house a lot back in the day. We ran in the same circles, being friends with Pete Davidson and all that. My sister, Savannah, used to think the Beaumont brothers were the epitome of courtly life. I didn't know you had a sister, Drake. She practically worshipped them. And you didn't. I found them more of an acquired taste. You mean they both annoyed the hell out of you? Yeah, pretty much. Whenever I got tired of their antics, I'd sneak off and come here to their study. Your sister was the fun one? Yeah, she was. I don't even know where she is now. You don't have any way of finding her? She stopped answering my calls and deleted all of her social media. Wherever she is, all I know is that she doesn't want to be found. Even by me. And you know what? I don't blame her. I failed her. I don't even know how, but I know that I failed her. I didn't protect her from whatever it was that made her leave. Maybe she just needs to deal with this on her own. But she's my little sister. I helped her learn how to tie her shoes. It kills me to think that there's something she didn't think she could trust me with. Do you have any idea what it was about? She was so happy, and then one day after one of these Beaumont parties, she wasn't. She locked herself in a room and I could hear her crying. A couple days later, all her things were packed and she was just gone. But that's enough about that. A silence falls between the two of you as Drake goes to the far side of the room. You let your gaze roam about the study. So, this is the Beaumont study. Are we allowed back here? They never lock the door, so I guess they don't care that much about who comes in. Okay, Drake. Besides, the point of this room is more to show off. Drake gestures at the walls, which are lined with ribbons and medals. As you can see, the Beaumont family has a lot to brag about. You let your eyes wander over to a lit display case, which contains a set of gleaming trophies and framed pictures of young Bertrand and Maxwell, both on horseback. I guess Bertrand and Maxwell had a habit of winning, a family tradition. I can see why Bertrand is always so worried about upholding the Beaumont name. Their house goes back a long way. I can never pity a rich kid like Bertrand, but I come very close to it sometimes. He's got a lot of pressure on him. I think his parents gave him a lot of talks about his heritage in Cordonia, and it's not like Maxwell's much help with anything. Maxwell tries. Sometimes. Maxwell's always been more interested in having fun. He couldn't care less about prestige and honor. That's one of the things I like about him, actually. Drake trails off for a moment, his eyes lingering on you until he quickly looks away. We need to talk about us. There is no us. You're right. Drake, I don't think you mean that. Well, I do. The truth is that my best friend is head over heels for you. So it doesn't really matter how I feel, because that's where it has to end. Pete Davidson is the only one who's ever looked out for me. The only one who gave a damn about me after my dad, after he was gone. The rest of the court was ready to cast us out. Never mind that he died protecting the royal family. Drake, I'm sorry. That's terrible. I didn't care much, but my mom and Savannah, it would have devastated them. Pete Davidson made sure we had a place at the palace as long as we wanted one. I can never betray him by falling for his girl. So that's what it all comes down to, Peckerwood. Whatever I feel, it doesn't matter. What about how I feel? Oh, how do you feel? I'm not into you. God, that'd be so mean. So fucking mean. Drake, you're right. We can't do this. I don't want to. Dumbass, I'm not interested in Drake. Pete Davidson needs us right now. Both of us. Yeah, you're right. I'd never forgive myself if... Drake looks down, his hands idly going to the desk at his side. Whoa! What is it? If I'm not mistaken, this is a fat envelope full of cash. That's what that is, all right, but why is it just here in the study? There's an address on the back, a French address. It looks like somebody was going to mail this today. Drake, that has to be the missing money that Bertrand was talking about. We've got to take it to Bertrand. That does seem like the responsible thing to do. You sent a quick text to Bertrand, and a few seconds later, Lady Dumbass, I received a text from you. How could you possibly have my phone number? Maxwell gave it to me. I hope that hasn't given you the impression that I'm at your beck and call. You know how whenever you give someone your phone number, you're like, hey, I'll do literally anything for you. That's what me giving you my phone number means. Not that I want to talk to you. Jesus fucking Christ, Bertrand. Hey, simmer down. You're gonna like what I have to say. Look what we found. Our missing funds? How did you even? I heard you talking about it earlier. The cash was on the desk here in the study. Yes, of course it was. How silly of me. I must have misplaced it. Thank you, dumbass. I never thought I'd say this, but today you're a credit to House Beaumont. Thanks? Unfortunately, it's too late to rehire the cleaning crew, so we better finish the last of the arrangements. Back to work. He strides away as Drake lowers his voice. Something's off. You get that feeling too? Yeah, of course. Feels like Bertrand might be hiding something, and I want to know what it is. Maybe we'll find more clues while we're prepping the house? We'll see. Keep an eye out, but try not to be too obvious about it. You and Drake leave the study and return to your work. For the next several hours, you help clean and spruce up the estate until at last, you meet with Bertrand and Maxwell in the main hall. Phew! I just did the last of the bathrooms. I think the place is ready to go. Yes, this house is actually acceptable. Wow. Does something actually meet your standards? Do I need to call a doctor? No, you don't. It's only that tomorrow will be something special. I can feel it. Just then, there's a knock at the estate's grand door. Bertrand walks over to answer it. Who could it be at this hour? He opens the door to find Prince Pete Davidson. Bertrand immediately bows. Oh, your highness, you're early. I mean, what a pleasant surprise. I hope I'm not disturbing anything. Again, this is a sitcom. This is fucking, he comes in the door. Woo! Of course not. I hope you find everything in order. As grand as I remember it. Of course. Come on in. If you'll excuse us, my brother and I will check that your room accommodations are in order. In the meantime, I'm sure Lady Dumbass here will entertain you. I'm sure she will. Hell yeah, brother. The prince walks in and straight up to you. Bertrand grabs Maxwell's arm and leads him away, leaving you two alone. You're a delightful surprise. You're assuming I'm here to see you, yeah, you know? You better be. What gave it away? You have my name written all over your lips. There's no hiding from you, is there? Not a chance. I arrived early because I knew you'd be here, and I wanted to see you again before the festivities began. I know all this must seem strange to you. Jet setting around Cordonia, attending grand formal events. Drake, I've been doing this for months now. I'm kinda used to it at this point. I imagine it's much different from dating as you usually know it in New York. Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. I appreciate that you've thrown yourself into courtly life with such enthusiasm, but I wanted to meet you halfway, so to speak. I have this idea. It's maybe a little silly, but will you go on a date with me? A date? No. Yeah, of course, Pete. My first true date. I wanted to be with you. We're on an estate surrounded by acres of vineyards. Where would we go? What would we do? Leave that to me. I promise you it'll be a proper first date. Tonight, I just want to be Dumbass and Pete Davidson. Two normal people going on a normal date. What do you say? I know it's a bit last minute. Pete Davidson, I'd love to go on a date with you. Are you kidding me? I think I can do ordinary for one evening. This is not going to be an ordinary date. I'll tell you right now, this is going to be he's a prince. You can be normal, but I don't think you can ever be anything less than extraordinary. You're really pulling out all the stops, aren't you? For you, definitely. If you think about it, it's our first real date. I mean, we've been spending time together, but it's been here and there. I'll be sure to break out the awkward icebreaker questions and first date nerves. Sounds perfect. I need to make a couple arrangements, but I'll meet you in your room in an hour? Yes, I'm on the east wing, fourth door from the right. I'll see you then. Later, in your room. Better get ready for my date with Pete Davidson. Oh, Yeah, I think I look perfect. Oh, fucking hell. I forgot to put on a costume. Ah, well, I was clicking through too fast. A little later, Pete Davidson shows up at your door, his hands behind his back. Dumbass. Your Highness. Please, just Pete Davidson. These are for you. He flourishes a bouquet of roses, and you take them, inhaling the sweet scent. Were they the right thing to get for a first date? Pete Davidson, they're amazing. I'm so glad you like them. You sniff them one more time before dropping them in a vase near the door and putting your arm out for Pete Davidson. Shall we? Pete Davidson leads you down the hallway and up the grand staircase. So, are you gonna spill about what we're doing tonight? I did some research on traditional first dates. You researched dates? That's kind of nerdy. Did you make a spreadsheet of the schedule with minutes and everything? No. Well, I didn't write anything down. Nerd. I just wanted tonight to be perfect. I'm sure it will be. And what did your research tell you? That a traditional first date is dinner, then a movie. Some research he did. But there aren't any local theaters secure enough to be cleared of any threats, so we're going to be focusing on the dinner part. This way. His hand slides to the small of your back, guiding you forward as he opens a door on the second floor. Inside, you find a rustic game room where a romantic dinner for two has been set up. The light from the fire sparkles gold against the crystal and silverware on the table. Aw, Pete Davidson. Dinner for two at the finest restaurant I could find, or recreate. He holds out a chair for you, waiting until you take it before he sits across from you. As you're seated, Maxwell pokes his head into the room. Ready? Perfect timing. Diners, welcome to Chateau Beaumont. Maxwell comes in, wheeling a cart with 2 covered plates and a bottle of sparkling wine. He pops the wine and starts pouring it into flutes. Maxwell, you're a waiter tonight? Of course. Hey, isn't this funny, dumbass? When we first met, you were our waitress. Yeah, good, Maxwell. I hope I can be half as professional as you were. Now, for dinner, the finest bubbly Chateau Beaumont can offer, and a simple homemade tomato pasta. As requested, Pete Davidson. Enjoy. He lets himself out of the room, and Pete Davidson lifts his glass of sparkling wine. What should we toast to? We should toast to first dates. So far, this one's starting out great. Here's to first dates in the hope that this will continue to be great. Cheers. You sip the wine and take a bite of the pasta. This tastes wonderful. I'm glad you like it. I wasn't sure what to request, so I chose this. It's a simple pasta, but it makes me feel nostalgic. I used to eat this when I was a kid. Oh, got it. He's fucking ratatouille pilled. It's great. No need to get too fancy on the first date. We can just take it slow and get to know each other. We know each other though. Of course. Now I believe I was promised some awkward icebreaker questions. I've got an icebreaker question for you. Are you a coffee or tea person? Pete Davidson last. Excellent. I feel like I'm in a New York bar already. That's on a first date. Hey, you're not off the hook. You still need to answer. Coffee or tea, huh? It's blasphemous given that there's a Cordonian tea ceremony, but I'm a coffee person. I find that I need something a little stronger than tea. Interesting. Are all first date questions like this fun, but a little silly? More or less. I can't believe you never had a real first date. Yes, well, as you know, life as part of the royal family can have its limitations since I have to consider things like schedules and security. I've been introduced to women I've been interested in, of course, but our time together was spent at courtly functions, not on dates in a traditional way. And have you ever been serious about anyone before? Once, I thought I might have been, but the spark wasn't there. He reaches out and takes your hand in his, twining your fingers together. Before you, dumbass. I didn't even know what was missing with everyone else. And now what about you? Are there any former lovers I need to worry about? I mean, if that's not too personal a question. Well, I mean, I've dated a lot. And I mean... Nah, I've dated some. Not that many. I'm choosy with who I spend my time with. It's a good life when you can spend it with the people you truly care about. That's so true, Pete. Yeah, and I don't regret anything. It's brought me to this moment, hasn't it? It has. He smiles at you, and for the next little while, you and Pete Davidson talk over your meal. What's the first thing you'd save if your castle was on fire? It would be my guitar. You play the guitar? Rather horribly. But it's my mother's. She took it up for fun, but she was great. She'd sing when we went on picnics. Aw. I'd like to hear you play sometime. Yeah, sometime. And later? Are you more of a cat or dog person? I'm definitely a dog person. Excellent. We could have an entire kennel. I knew I was attracted to you for a reason. And later? Oh, during the dessert course? When we first met, I told you that I wanted to see the world. And thanks to you, I've skied in the Alps, toured the majestic mountainside on horseback, and now I'm enjoying an authentic Italian dinner in Cordonia's most exclusive restaurant. Nothing but the best for you. But what's your dream? Your heart's desire? More than peace and prosperity for Cordonia? I'm talking about Pete Davidson, not the prince. Dang, kind of a bar there. Maybe this is sentimental, but it's been on my mind lately, especially given Well, never mind that. What I really want is to have a family. Maybe not this year or the next, but eventually. And not the type that most kings have, but one where we're close and listen to each other. I've never mentioned it to anyone before. It's a pretty mundane dream now that I say it out loud. Pete Davidson, I think it's sweet, you know? I know it's cliche to say this, but the more I live, the more I realize life is nothing without the right person to share it with. The most precious thing anyone has is time, and you never know how much of it you have left. When it's gone, it's gone. I want to spend my time with people I care about. With you, dumbass, more than anyone else. I just had to say that. I had to make sure you know how I felt. I treasure all of our moments together too. You have no idea how much it means to me to hear you say that. Well, this got awfully romantic for a first date. Yeah, when you're on a date with somebody, the last thing you want is romance. Yuck. Are you telling me that guys don't lavish you with praise and adoration on all your first dates? No, not exactly. What a pity for those fools then. Alright, Mr. T. Later, Pete Davidson walks you back to your room. Thanks for coming out tonight, dumbass. I had a great time. Yeah, dinner was lovely. Does this mean a second date is in the cards? If you want it to be like a real first date, this is probably where you'd say that you'll text me and then wait a week to actually do it. I could never wait that long. Yeah, me neither. You stop in front of your door and turn to face Pete Davidson. Good night, dumbass. Where's my goodnight kiss? Where's my hug at? I was working my way up to that.
He leans down, kissing you sweetly at first, then more passionately as you press into him. Dumbass, somehow kissing you once never feels like enough.
No one told you to stop. He groans and pins you against This is so fucking funny. Holy shit. He groans and pins you against the door as he lays kisses against your neck, his hands weaving through your hair. That feels nice. Oh, good. Dumbass. You tug at his shirt, pulling it up enough to run your hands over his bare chest and around him, tugging him closer, when you hear footsteps from down the hall. Oh! We're right outside of my room. If we wanted to, we could go inside. He immediately lets go of you, stepping a respectful distance away. You both breathe hard in the silence, listening. After a moment, Pete Davidson smiles ruefully at you. That was close. Yeah, Drake or Maxwell or Bertrand are gonna be like, you're kissing? You're kissing this person you've been courting for a long time? How could you? Yeah, really. Though being caught in a covert makeout sesh is a classic first date trope. Is it? Check that off the list. But really, I have kept you out too late. He lifts your hand to his lips, kissing it. Good night, dumbass. Good night, Pete Davidson. The next morning, rise and shine, our little budding princess. Yes, up, up, up. Today's the big day. We've prepared the house from top to bottom, and now for the final step. Preparing our representative lady. Let me guess. It's me. I'm the representative lady. Go, go, go. Maxwell, make sure she's presentable. Right away! You walk into your closet where one dress hangs on the rack. This is quite the, selection. It's all we could get a hold of, but I thought it'd make you look like the princess you're destined to be. The local dress shop said they'll charge it to us if we want to keep it. I think we do. Alright, I'll try it on. Yeah, is this the one that I wore at the beginning? I only have 800 gems left after this one. Oh no. You look stunning, by the way. Thank you, Maxwell. Let's go. We're going to throw the best party ever! Will you and the Beaumonts pull off a successful bash? Find out in the next chapter, and find out we will. Chapter 16, The Beaumont Bash. It's the evening of the Beaumont Bash. You've just finished dressing up in the outfit you chose with Maxwell that morning when there's a knock on your door. Oh, shoot, did I not start recording? Oh, shoot. I forgot to record like the first 10 seconds of this. Sorry about that, everybody.
I also forgot to explain what happened in that little bit you missed. We're at the bash. I'm sitting with Pete and the king and the queen, and we're talking about why I would be a good bride and a good queen and a good fit to be one of the leaders of Cordonia. And here's that conversation.
If you were chosen, Lady Dumbass, do you feel like you'd be ready to marry? It wouldn't be a cakewalk being married to Pete Davidson. Of course she'd be ready. Duke Ramford, no need to answer for her. Oh, I'd be ready because marriage is about compromise. I'm an excellent compromiser. An interesting answer. I hope you wouldn't have to compromise too much of yourself in a marriage to the crown prince. I know who Pete Davidson is. You do. I know who Pete Davidson is too. He's an SNL alumni, stand-up comedian, and now in the show Bubkiss on Peacock. Well, that satisfies me. Beside you, you can see Bertrand smile. You continue to socialize with the royals over the next courses of dinner until you finish with dessert. What a delight that meal was. Dessert makes everything better, as does good company. He smiles at you and you laugh. Ha ha. The king looks from the pair of you to the queen and raises her hand and takes her hand. I remember being young once. I always feel young when I'm with you. Oh my dear, when all's said and done, I hope Pete Davidson makes the right choice. That's what we all hope for, sir. Bertrand, dabs at his mouth with a napkin, then stands, gathering everyone's attention by tapping his glass. Now that the dessert course has been served, the grand hall is now open. Please join us there for the after-dinner festivities. Bertrand leads the way as numerous nobles stand up to join him. You proceed into the grand hall with the other nobles. Bertrand walks halfway up the staircase. Citizens, nobles, friends, we're gathered here today to celebrate the end of the social season. So if you'll hear me out, I'd like to share a few words. Maxwell nudges you, nodding to the back of the staircase. It's time to pick our weapons. You and I are going to saber open some champagne. While Bertrand continues the speech, you and Maxwell sneak behind the staircase to the wall of weapons. A couple bottles of champagne lie next to the displays. Which do you pick? Now to open a bottle of champagne, I'm not picking the flail. Or, fuck it, Weeball. I'm taking the flail. I wanted that one. Why? Why did you? Okay, Maxwell. You can have it. I'm sure you'll do something spectacular with it. Here's what I'm imagining. Just gonna take the bottle and the flail and just whack the hell out of the top of it. Maxwell lifts the double-bladed sword from the wall. And so with all of House Beaumont with me, let us propose a toast. Maxwell leads you up the stairs, weapons and champagne bottles in hand. To our gracious royal family, to all those here tonight, and to all those out there looking for love. Wherever you are in life, if you're looking for love, may you find it. To love! Maxwell swings the double-bladed sword, slicing the top off one bottle and knocking the second one down the stairs. I'll hit the bottle, yeah. You swing, slicing off the top of the bottle. Champagne foams out, dripping onto the stairs. Glasses everywhere. Whoa. It took me much longer to master that move. From all of us at House Beaumont, thank you. Everyone cheers as the servers rush forward to hand out glasses of champagne to everyone. Maxwell runs to the top of the stairs. The king and queen approach you and Bertrand. Splendid night, Duke Ramsford, Lady Dumbass. You've delivered the type of enjoyable evening we would have expected from a Beaumont celebration. You're too kind, your majesties. But we should take our leave. The old folks like us can't handle the late night events. Bring out the blindfolds. Find my bow and arrow. Put an apple on the bust of my great-grandfather. Though we're sure it'll be something to remember. Try not to incapacitate half the court again. Perhaps only a third this time. Ha 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 ha. They all share a laugh. Ha 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 ha. Bertrand raises his glass to the king and queen. You'll be sorely missed when you retire, sir. It's been an honor knowing you all these years. Oh, Duke Ramsford, that's not necessary. I think it is, ma'am. To the crown. To the crown. Thank you. We'll see you again at the coronation, and hopefully the results will be favorable for us all. King and queen take their leave. Well, well, well. What? You look pleased. Did you hear that? Favorable for us all, Lady Dumbass. I think the future is looking bright. Bertrand simply smiles at you and picks up an open bottle of champagne, taking a big swig. Maxwell. What? Let the revelry begin. Aw, yeah! Music blasts from the sound system. Maxwell slides down the railing. From the doorways leading into the room, professional dancers and acrobats stream in. I hope you're ready, cause the Maxwell Special is in the house! He moonwalks onto the middle of the floor to the music's increasing tempo. I am the myth, the man, the legend. Witness me. Maxwell drops into a flurry of breakdance moves. Yo, I should join Pete Davidson and the other revelers. Walking down the stairs, you link up with Pete Davidson, Drake, and Hannah. It's been less than 2 minutes and my ears hurt. Come on, Drake. You usually give it at least 5 minutes before tapping out. There's so much happening. That's the problem. Bring out the horses. The horses? The horses? The horses? You're bringing horses in here? Someone on staff leads out a pair of beautiful steeds. Who's ready for a little horse riding? I am. Maxwell mounts one of the horses. Who will be my partner? How about our king-to-be? I nominate Drake as my proxy. Oh no, you're not forcing me into the saddle tonight. I vote for Dumbass. Dumbass? Coming up then, Lady Dumbass. Your saddle awaits. You mount up the horse. Easy, girl. You ride around the room with Maxwell, waving to partygoers. My fellow Cordonians, today I ride for Cordonia, for Cordonia, for Cordonia. Woo, riding a horse. Yay. Maxwell nudges you. We should let some others ride around on the horses. Fair enough. You dismount and return to the party. Feel a gentle tap on your shoulder. Dumbass, I'm glad I caught you. We're at the park. Always happy to be caught. Is something on your mind? We'll be traveling back to the capital within the week, and the coronation will be held soon after. We won't get as much time to see one another, so I wanted to do something special for us. Well, for you. Like what? My plan is a relaxing massage in the spa room, along with candles, a jet tub, and me. There's a spa room? Clearly you haven't had any downtime since you've arrived. It's on the 3rd floor. I was hoping you could join. Pete Davidson, there you are. Don't forget you promised me a drink. Pete Davidson smiles apologetically. Lady Dumbass, if you'll excuse me. He kisses you on the cheek and whispers, if you can, Meet me later. We'll see if I can get away. He nods and departs with Olivia. The party rages into the night. Fragments of split apples litter the floor. The bust of Maxwell's great-grandfather is riddled with cracks and chips. An arrow protrudes from his eye, while the apple on his head remains unscathed. Kiara lies in the corner of the room. Penelope drapes her arms around a horse. Too much. Je ne me sais pas bien. You know, horse, you and I have so much in common. Hair, bodies, and adoration of poodles. Like my equine soulmate. Nerf! The horse is drunk, too. Bertrand sits against a column, a sword in one hand and an empty bottle of champagne in the other. We gave those apples what for? In the middle of the carnage, Maxwell continues to dance. Break it down. Nice and slow. You're still going? If I stop, the party stops. It's like that Louis XIV quote, I am the party. How are you feeling? I hope it wasn't too hard on you. Invincible. The rest here must be lightweights. Or you're running on a huge adrenaline high. I've had those before. Watch out for the crash. How bad is it? You'll be out for 12 hours at least, but it will be some of the best sleep of your life. Back home, this was always about the time we'd break out a game of Truth or Dare, but I bet you guys are too classy for that. Oh god. You'd be betting wrong. I love Truth or Dare. Truth or Dare? That sounds dangerous. Yeah. Well, only if you have something to hide or a fear of embarrassing stunts. It sounds fun. I can't believe you've never played. Now we gotta do it. Oh no, I'm not playing Truth or Dare.
And neither will we. Not because I messed up the footage. I did mess up the footage again. It's kind of my thing now. But I just didn't play Truth or Dare with them. I did go off with Pete Davidson for a relaxing massage. Nothing really happened. He massaged me. We got some very sensual lines like this one.
He climbs into the tub. You peel off your clothes and slip into the tub with him.
But you didn't really miss anything. There was more relationship building when we were at dinner on the date earlier than when we were in a bathtub going, oh, okay, this is nice. That's about all we did. We didn't do much else in there.
Pete Davidson runs his fingers through your hair, deepening the kiss, and then reluctantly pulls away. Good night, dumbass. Good night, Pete Davidson. You gaze at the stairwell. Hannah, Drake, and Maxwell will be playing Truth or Dare. No. No. I don't want to do that. I'm heading to bed. Party was pretty exhausting. I'll talk to them all tomorrow. Exactly. The next morning, you wake up and glance at the clock, noticing it's nearly noon. Well, I must have slept in. You dart out of bed and out into the hall. Descending the stairwell, you see a few members of the house staff plus Bertrand and Maxwell cleaning up last night's mess. Hey, why'd nobody come get me? You earned a day to sleep in. I did? We also thought it'd be better if we minimized the destruction from last night before you woke up. I could have helped you guys. You know that, right? We don't want you wasting your energy when we're heading into one of the most important events of our lives. The coronation ball is next, and after last night, all eyes are going to be on you. So get what sleep you can. It's not long before we depart for the palace. The coronation ball has finally arrived. Will it be the fairy tale you've imagined? Find out in the next chapter. And find out in the next chapter we will. The next one is it for this book. Wow. We got some more alone time with Pete. I guess I could have hung out with Hannah and Drake and Maxwell, but I was just feeling so good, so sleepy. And I was drunk. They're going to play Truth or Dare. They're going to try and make me kiss somebody or try and do something stupid. I don't want to do that right before the coronation. I got an image to uphold, all right? Eyes on the prize. It's also really funny to me that the story was like, hey, so you and Drake, maybe? No. Come on. I know there have been things that I've done in the story that have upped my romance with Drake, but I didn't intend on upping my romance with Drake. Obviously, I think the coronation's going to go well. I think I'm in a really good spot with Pete and with the king and the queen and sort of like the other parts of the royal court. But I know something's going to happen. There will be something afoot, whether it's from Olivia or from that other woman whose name I don't remember, or from somebody else. But I'm suspect that things won't go as smoothly as I've planned. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you wouldn't mind leaving a like or subscribing, I'd appreciate that. Again, I'm super excited to work with Pixelberry. I think this is going to be fun and be good, and there means there's going to be some more choices stuff coming in the future. So I hope that you all are excited for that, because I am. I like this silly little game that I've been playing. I have to like check on YouTube, like, this is sponsored content. This is kind of crazy. I've never had to do that before. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate that so much. If you enjoyed this video and you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, I'd appreciate that too. If you want to relive the magic of the royal romance, there's a playlist on my channel with all the videos. I'll put the card here right now just so you can click it if you want to go back and see if my recapping wasn't enough. But I think the recap was pretty good. I haven't filmed it yet. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. Again, thanks for watching. It really does mean a lot to me. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.